campers! Welcome to my kitchen and welcome to a taste of camp for this week. Today we're going to be making foil dinners. You may have been at camp sometime when we made these and cooked them in the campfire. But today I'm not going to be cooking it in the campfire. Today I'm going to be talking about some other ways that we can cook these. Traditionally, foil dinners have some onion and some potato and some carrots. And it's also good to have a little bit of cream of mushroom soup. Even if you don't like mushrooms, you can put a little bit of this in there and it kind of makes it all juicy. If you just can't stand this, my brother used to put a couple spoonfuls of water on his because he wouldn't let us put cream of mushroom soup. So the first thing you need to do is get your vegetables ready. Of course, you're going to talk to an adult about using a big knife. And I'm going to cut my onion. I'm going to make pretty thick slices when I cut my onion because I don't want them to burn. And then they may still burn a little bit in the bottom. That's okay. Kind of makes them yummy. Because even if you don't like a lot of onion, a slice or two in the bottom of your foil dinner will make it taste really good, even if you don't eat the onion itself. So you're going to want to think about a few slices of onion. I'm going to try to get things ready just to make one here as quickly as I can. So I'm going to make a couple slices of onion. I put this other cutting board over here just so I can keep some veggies on it. I am going to need some potato, whatever kind you have. I happen to have these little red potatoes, so that's what I'm going to use. These are a little bit thinner slices because the potato is sometimes the last thing to cook. So some thinner slices of potato usually are the best. Some carrots. I have these little baby carrots in the fridge, so I'm just going to kind of cut them in half so that they look like this, because that's thin enough that they should cook pretty well. If you have regular big carrots, you can peel those and maybe cut them in circles. But you just don't want anything to be too thick because then it takes too long to cook. Usually, if we were to make foil dinner someplace like camp, that might be all we put in them in terms of vegetables. But the fun thing about being at home is that you can raid the refrigerator. So I love Brussels sprouts. So I have just a couple of little Brussels sprouts here that I'm going to slice and stick in my foil dinner. If you don't like Brussels sprouts, don't use Brussels sprouts. This is about everybody making their own so you can make something that you want to eat. I also have a jalapeno in my refrigerator, and I decided I wanted to chop up just a little bit of that to put on the top just to give mine a little slice. Take out the seeds. That. Now you need to be careful if you're working with peppers that you don't rub your eyes right afterwards. You gotta make sure you wash your hands. Oh, and do wash your hands before you start cooking. I already had my hands washed before I started the video because I didn't think you needed to wash my hands. Real careful with your fingers when you're chopping little stuff. If you can make your knuckles stick out further than your fingers while you're chopping, then that's called a bear claw, and then you don't get your fingers chopped up. So now I've got what I need, and I am ready to make my foil dinner. So the first thing I need is some foil. Now, however much you think you see me pull off, go, okay, I think that's what I need, so I'm going to do that much more. Because you want to make sure you really get it sealed up tight, and that you don't make it too huge. Okay, I'm going to open up my cream of mushroom soup. I like cans that have that pop top. Just makes it easier when I'm cooking. And I'm going to start with a couple of spoonfuls of that soup, or one nice big spoonful, and kind of spread it right down there on the bottom of my foil. I don't know if you can actually see my foil, but there's my mushroom soup. And the first thing I'm going to stick in the bottom down there is some onion. So everything kind of sits on that. Onion. You know what? I'm going to put some potato down because sometimes it takes the potato longer to cook than anything else. So I kind of like to have potato on the outsides. So there's a little bit of potato, some onion. Then I'm gonna take my meat or meatless patty. I have some turkey patties here that I'm gonna use tonight. Turkey patties, hamburger patties, veggie patties, whatever you like to eat. And that's gonna go right on top of some of my veggies. Oh, you know what? I didn't get out any salt and pepper. I'm gonna do that real quick so that it'll make it taste better. That soup actually has some salt in it, but I'm gonna add just a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. Some pepper and some salt. Okay. Then a few more veggies on the top. I think I want this last little bit of onion. Not going to put any more potatoes on the top because, like I said, sometimes I would put those on the very top. Put in some of my carrots. That's going to start to kind of fall around your patty, and that's okay. My Brussels sprouts, I'm so excited about those. Ooh, I think I want my jalapeno kind of close to my meat so it'll sort of soak in. So I'll put that on. And like I said, whatever veggies you like that you have in your fridge is the best thing to use. Okay, so I've got everything just kind of in, and it starts to slide off, and that's okay. Now what's really important is that I want to get this all sealed up tight on all the edges. So I'm going to roll it up like this from the top. Nice and tight. Make sure I've got room on the ends. I have to tuck some things kind of back in there. And roll it up nice and tight. I don't want to let any of those juices out. Now, if we were at camp, we would take this packet, we would write each of your names on this little packet, and we'd go stick it in the campfire. I don't have a campfire pit at my house. Some people do, but I don't. You can cook them in the oven. It's kind of hot tonight. I don't think I want to turn my oven on, so I'm going to go outside and turn my barbecue on and get it warm to about a medium temperature, and then I can put it in the barbecue. If you barbecue with charcoal briquettes, I have a gas barbecue, but if you barbecue with briquettes, you can put it right down on the briquettes because the foil is going to protect your food and you won't touch any of that. There is one more thing I forgot to tell you. So I have opened my packet back up very carefully. I didn't want to tear my foil because I don't want my things to burn. But on the very top, if you'll put one more spoonful of that soup, then it kind of runs all down in and makes it kind of gravy-like. So you might want to put one spoonful of that soup, or if you're not using soup, that's another spoonful of water so that things don't stick and so that you have that good gravy. And I'm going to carefully recrimp the top here, make sure it's all sealed up. All those juices stay inside. Roll it up on that. And the fun thing about doing these at home is that everybody in the family can make their own, and then you have whatever you like in yours to eat. Alright, don't want to make it too high. If you have to put vegetables out to the side, that's okay. So I've preheated my grill to a medium temperature, and I'm going to put one packet there and one packet here. And I'm going to go ahead and close this grill, and I'll be back in about 20 minutes to turn them over. Alright, so it's been about 20 minutes. I'm going to try to carefully turn these over without poking another hole. I see I already made one. I'm going this way for another 10 minutes or so, and then we'll open them up and see how they're looking. Turn them over and leave them for 10 more minutes. Alright, so it's been another 10 minutes, and now I am going to take one of these off and see how it's looking. I got out a clean plate. You don't ever want to put something back onto a plate where you had raw meat. So I'm going to put that on there carefully on my plate. Well, you guys can't see that very well. And I'm going to carefully open this up so I can check and see if it is done. Sometimes you have to wrap them back up and put them in. Oh, I gotta have 2 hands to do this. Hot, hot, hot. Careful of the steam when you're opening this up, because you can get burned by steam too. So, little bits at a time. It's nice and hot anyway, that's one good thing. I just kind of want to check when I get it opened up. If I had a fork, I would poke those veggies. Let's see. Oh, the potatoes look done. That's always a good sign. Poke down into my meat, make sure it's not too red in the middle. Nope. My meat looks done, my veggies look done. I think I've got it. Especially if you cooked yours in a fire or in the charcoal briquettes. You want to be careful because this foil will be really dirty and you won't want to touch that. Now my foil dinner is ready to eat. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you try this with your family. They're really kind of fun and fun to do in the campfire or on the barbecue or in the oven.